Emma never trusted older men. At least, that's what she always told herself. She was 26, full of dreams, living in a busy city where everything moved fast. Cars, people, emotions. She had dated guys her age before. Some were fun, some were sweet. But most of them were confusing. They talked big, but their actions never matched. They promised things, but never stayed. So Emma built a wall around her heart. One evening, after a long day at work, she walked into a quiet coffee shop. The kind of place where soft music plays and people sit alone with their thoughts. That's when she noticed him. He was sitting in the corner, calm and composed. Maybe in his early 40s. Not trying too hard. Not loud. Not showing off. Just different. Their eyes met for a second. He didn't stare. He didn't smile too quickly. He simply nodded and went back to his book. Something about that moment felt strange. For the first time in a long time, Emma felt curious. Later, when she stood in line, he walked up beside her. "Long day?" he asked softly. Emma looked at him, surprised. "Yeah. How did you know?" He gave a small smile. "I understand." Just 2 words. But something about the way he said them felt real. And Emma didn't know why. But those 2 words stayed in her mind all night. Emma tried to ignore it. "It's nothing," she told herself. "Just a random guy." But the next day, she went back to the same coffee shop. And he was there again. This time, he didn't approach her. He just gave a polite smile. Days passed, and slowly they started talking. His name was Daniel. He didn't ask too many questions. He didn't try to impress her. He didn't flirt like other men. Instead, he listened. Really listened. One evening, Emma found herself opening up about her past relationships. "I'm tired," she said. "People don't mean what they say anymore." Daniel nodded slowly. "I respect that," he replied. Again. 2 simple words. But they hit differently. Emma felt seen. Heard. But that's when her mind started to fight back. Why is this affecting me? Why do his words feel so powerful? Her friend Lisa noticed the change. "You like him, don't you?" Lisa teased. Emma shook her head quickly. "No way. He's older, and something feels off." "Off? Or just different?" Lisa asked. Emma didn't answer. Because deep inside, she was scared. Scared that these simple words were slowly breaking the walls she built so carefully. Emma started thinking about Daniel more than she wanted to admit. It wasn't his looks. It wasn't money or status. It was how he made her feel. Calm. Safe. Understood. But that scared her even more. One night, while they were walking outside after coffee, Emma stopped. "Why do you talk like that?" she asked suddenly. Daniel looked confused. "Like what?" "Like, you always say the right thing." "I understand. I respect that. It feels like, I don't know, like you're reading my mind." Daniel smiled softly. "I'm not trying to impress you," he said. "I'm just being honest." Emma crossed her arms. "Or maybe you've done this before." There it was. Her fear. Her doubt. Daniel didn't get defensive. Instead, he looked at her and said quietly, "You don't have to trust me yet." That answer made her heart shake. Because it wasn't pressure. It wasn't manipulation. It was patience. That night, Emma couldn't sleep. Her mind kept repeating those moments. Why did his simple words feel stronger than all the promises she had heard before? Was it real? Or was she about to get hurt again? Days later, Emma made a decision. She needed answers. When she met Daniel again, she looked straight at him. "Tell me the truth," she said. "Why do your words affect me so much?" Daniel stayed silent for a moment. Then he said something unexpected. "Because most people talk to respond, not to understand." Emma felt her heart pause. Daniel continued. "And most people try to impress, instead of respect." Suddenly, everything started to make sense. It wasn't magic. It wasn't a trick. It was something rare.
Genuine Emotion.
Real presence. But then Daniel added something that changed everything again. I learned this the hard way, he said. Emma frowned. What do you mean? Daniel looked down for a moment. I was married once. Emma's heart tightened. And I lost her. Because I didn't listen. I didn't understand. I didn't show respect. Silence filled the air. These two words you keep noticing, he continued softly. I didn't use them before. And it cost me everything. Emma felt a deep emotion rise inside her. For the first time, she didn't see him as mysterious. She saw him as human. Broken. But grown. Emma's eyes filled with tears. All this time, she thought she was being played. But the truth was, she was finally being treated right. I think I was scared, she admitted. Daniel looked at her gently. Of what? Of feeling something real again. Daniel stepped closer, but kept a respectful distance. That's okay, he said. Fear means it matters. Emma smiled through her tears. No one ever made me feel like this, with just words. Daniel shook his head softly. It's not the words, he said. It's the meaning behind them. Emma realized something powerful in that moment. All her life, she chased excitement, attention, and big promises. But what her heart truly needed was something simple. To be understood. To be respected. And suddenly, those two words didn't feel like a trick anymore. They felt like truth. Weeks passed, and Emma's life slowly changed. Not because Daniel tried to win her over, but because he never tried to. He just stayed consistent, honest, present. And Emma? She lowered her walls. Not all at once, but step by step. One evening, as they sat in the same quiet coffee shop where it all began, Emma looked at him and smiled. I understand now, she said. Daniel raised an eyebrow playfully. Understand what? Emma took a deep breath. It's not about saying the perfect thing. It's about meaning it. Daniel smiled. And Emma looked into his eyes. I respect that. They both laughed softly. But in that moment, something deeper connected between them.
Stern, stern, the truth was simple, stern, stern.
Attraction isn't about fancy lines or clever tricks. It's about emotional honesty. It's about presence. It's about making someone feel seen. And sometimes, the strongest connection doesn't come from many words. It comes from just two. I understand.
Stern, stern.
I respect.
Stern, stern.
Because when those words are real, they don't just attract someone. They change everything. The end.